I remember the exact moment I thought, this is it. This is what I always wanted. It didn't arrive loudly. It came quietly, almost gently, on a normal day that didn't warn me it was about to change my life forever. Before I go any further, stay with me till the end of this story. I didn't understand its meaning until the very last moment, and neither will you if you leave too soon. For years, my life felt like it was built on waiting, waiting to be chosen, waiting to be loved without asking, waiting to feel like I mattered to someone without having to explain my worth. I was married, yes, on paper, everything looked fine. A shared home, shared meals, shared plans for weekends that mostly never happened. But inside that house, I felt invisible, not abused, not neglected in obvious ways, just unseen, like a shadow moving through rooms that were already full. We spoke every day, but never deeply. We touched, but without warmth. We slept beside each other, but miles apart. I used to lie awake at night listening to his breathing, wondering how someone could be so close and so far at the same time. I never asked for much. I didn't want gifts or trips or big words. I just wanted to feel chosen, wanted, desired. And slowly, without realizing it, that hunger grew teeth. That's when he entered my life, not crashing in, not seducing me, just noticing me. It started small, a conversation that lasted a little longer than it should have, a look that stayed a second too long, the kind of attention that feels warm, like sunlight touching skin you forgot could feel heat. He laughed at things I said that no one else noticed. He remembered details about me I didn't think mattered. The way I took my tea, the music I listened to when I was sad, the way my voice changed when I talked about things I loved. I told myself it was harmless. I told myself I deserved to feel seen. I told myself it didn't mean anything. But feelings don't ask for permission. Every message felt like oxygen. Every meeting felt like relief. Every goodbye felt heavier than it should have. I started dressing differently without meaning to. Started checking my phone more than I checked myself. Started smiling for no reason, then feeling guilty for that smile. At home, nothing changed. And that somehow made everything worse. The silence stayed. The distance stayed. It was like my heart had quietly moved out, but my body was still paying rent. Then came that day. The day that still lives in my chest, like a scar that aches when the weather changes. We weren't supposed to do anything. That's what we both said. We met just to talk, just to breathe, just to exist in a space where we felt understood. The room was quiet, not awkward quiet, heavy quiet, the kind where every breath sounds loud. I remember sitting there, hands folded, heart racing, telling myself to stay strong, to leave soon, to be good, to go back to my life and forget this version of myself. But then he looked at me, really looked at me, not like someone who wanted to take something, like someone who saw something. And in that moment, every wall I built for years just fell. I felt chosen. I felt wanted. I felt alive when it happened. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't wild. It was slow, careful, almost tender, like two broken people holding each other where it hurt the most. And for the first time in a long time, I felt complete. Lying there afterward, staring at the ceiling, I remember thinking, this is what I always wanted. Not the secrecy, not the betrayal, but the feeling. To be held like I mattered, to be touched like I was desired, to be seen without having to beg. I happily got it that day. And that's the part that still scares me, because happiness built on someone else's pain has a short lifespan. When I walked back into my house later, everything looked the same. The walls, the furniture, the familiar, quiet, but I was different. I carried something inside me I couldn't put down. Guilt didn't hit right away. It waited. It sat patiently, like it knew it had time. At first I floated. I smiled more. I felt lighter. I told myself this was just something for me, a small corner of joy in a life that felt too heavy. But joy like that doesn't stay quiet. It starts asking questions at night. It starts whispering during normal moments. It starts demanding space it doesn't deserve. I found myself pulling away from my spouse even more. Not because I loved him less, but because the contrast hurt. Because every silence reminded me of what I had felt somewhere else. And then came the looks, the suspicion, the subtle changes in his behavior. I don't know what hurt more. The fear of being caught, or the realization that I had already emotionally left long before anything physical happened. One night, he asked me if I was happy. Such a simple question. I opened my mouth, and nothing came out. Because how do you explain that you tasted something you didn't even know you were starving for? How do you admit that the thing you always wanted arrived in the worst possible way? The affair didn't last long. Things like that rarely do. Reality always shows up eventually, uninvited and unforgiving. When it ended, it didn't explode. It just faded. And that almost hurt more. No dramatic goodbye. No promises. Just silence. And suddenly, I had to sit with everything I had done, everything I had felt, everything I had risked. I looked at my life and realized I didn't just betray my marriage. I betrayed the version of myself who believed she was stronger than this. I got what I always wanted, and I paid for it with peace. Even now, I don't call myself a victim. I made choices, quiet ones, slow ones, but choices all the same. Some nights, I still remember that feeling, and it hurts because it was real, and it hurts even more because it came wrapped in something so wrong. I live with that contradiction every day. The truth that something can feel right in your heart and still destroy your life. This isn't a story about excitement. It's a story about hunger, about silence, about what happens when being unseen hurts more than being wrong. And even now, I sit with the weight of it, knowing I can't undo that day. I can only carry it, learn from it, and hope the version of me moving forward is braver and more honest than the one who thought happiness could be borrowed without cost. If this story moved you, please like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more real stories.